How do you make a podcast?
Well, Molly, that's what we're going to be discussing for the rest of this episode.
What an interesting kind of episode this is.
Fun one.
So, first of all, if you've not heard of us before, this is the official Amped Up podcast. This would be probably season 2 now.
Aye.
Season 1 came to a close where we talked about controversial topics in rock music and in general, all kinds of music. We talked about AI and its influence on music. We talked about women in the rock industry of music.
And somehow we didn't get cancelled on any of them.
Oh, season 1 was, yeah.
It was dicey.
Season 2 is about to get cancelled.
Oy.
It's about creating the most controversy.
Oh, yes.
We'll start off very light on how you actually start to make a podcast.
Definitely.
So, Caitlin.
Yes, Molly.
Why start, before we talk about music podcasts, in general, if someone wants to start a podcast, why would you want to start a podcast?
Well, I mean, we started it for one specific reason, but we also had other ideas of what we wanted to do. And podcasts are just so fun because it's like yapping and like having, like, because we always have conversations all the time.
Yeah.
As flatmates, I mean, it would happen.
Definitely.
But it's even funnier if you just record it. Like, so many times I've had conversations with friends and like stuff like that, and then I'm just like, wait, imagine if this was recorded, bro. This would be insane.
Yeah. And I think there's this, I can't remember the word, but this stigma around like podcasts at the moment as well, where it's like not everyone needs to have a podcast. Okay. There are
guys.
There are some podcasts out there.
Yes.
I saw this one on TikTok where it's a group of guys and they're like kind of geezery, like young lads, and they're like, they did something like this. They're like, all right, lads, so if my girl cheats on me, it's because she doesn't give a fuck about you. She doesn't like you. But if a guy cheats, you can still love that girl.
Oh, God.
If you've seen that. But yeah, obviously not everyone should have a podcast. But in general, if you want to start a podcast and there's a topic of conversation that you enjoy talking about and you feel like you could yap for years about, why not just film it?
Why not?
And just
see where it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And obviously you could create a niche. I know that some people like very specific things.
They do.
Like, I don't know, space stuff. But like very specific.
To pick one.
Yeah, what's that one? The like quantum physics.
Ooh.
You could make a whole podcast on quantum physics and something within quantum physics that's a niche.
And there's always people out there that would love to hear about it.
Yeah, there's always somebody.
There's always a free moment in your day when you just want to be like, do you know what? I do fancy a bit of quantum physics.
Yeah. And there might be like a lack of coverage on those specific areas.
Yeah, it's great.
And you can use your personal experiences, which are different from other people's personal experiences.
Exactly.
So realistically, even if podcasts are very similar to each other, there's that human, authentic element that you can't get with others because everyone is different.
Exactly.
Yeah. But in terms of like a rock podcast, because this is music based, how would you first begin to go about creating a music podcast?
Well, I think we were struggling on the kind of niche because rock is so talked about. It's hard to find a kind of weird little thing that you can talk about, but we started with saying it was going to be a review thing. Yeah, it was kind of like we should just review these artists, even though we have no place in reviewing them at all. But it seemed fun that it was just like, we're just gonna review it. We're gonna do some really. It wasn't as much the reviewing that was the niche. It was more the topics that we were picking and the artists that we were picking as well. We were also working with artists that weren't maybe as well known as like mainstream artists, because there's loads of music review podcasts that like just kind of stick to the top top charts, which is fair.
That's what gets clicks, really.
Yeah.
If you talk about what's going on now,
yeah,
and the biggest artists, that gets clicks, but only if you're a mainstream podcast.
Yeah.
If you are not a well-known podcast, you're just starting out, regardless of what you talk about, people will most often than not be clicking on the podcasts that have the most views already when talking about those types of conversation.
Yeah.
So you kind of do need to be in a smaller niche, at least at first. And then as you build your audience, you can always branch out into a different kind of niche that you want.
It's not like we didn't mention the top artists. We use them as points of reference and things like that, and that kind of helped with things. But it was also kind of primarily focused on like helping these other artists actually to grow a little bit and get some more kind of publicity, because they were all deserving of it.
Yeah,
it was insane. Some of the music that we listened to I was shocked in myself.
Exactly.
On the journey.
Yeah, and we focus a lot on rock music and different subgenres of rock music.
We do.
So we covered everything from weird, goofy rock music from people like Big Trousers.
Oh, I love Big Trousers.
All the way to Witch, who were quite Fleetwood Mac inspired rock.
We also did Cruise Beckham.
Yeah. Because Jesus is an Nepo baby.
Of course.
But it's a niche, but it's... As you go on, you can broaden that niche, bring in more people in.
Of course.
And so that's a good starting point, is to just think of your niche. What do you want to be doing? This is more a specialty on creating music podcasts. Yeah. So is your niche like us, focusing on the lesser known artists? Yeah. Trying to build help in a way, build them up. Like network with people. As well, or is it maybe rock history, music history that you're maybe thinking of focusing on, or debate style kind of podcasts? I know debates can be quite an interesting topic of conversation.
Debates can be fun
because it creates a lot of
humour.
Yeah, it creates humour.
It's funny listening to someone fight.
It creates a lot of talk in the comments as well, because people start to go on different sides.
Everyone's got their own opinions on the matter as well. Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
And I think that's the main thing you want to be thinking about first. And then a very, very, very close second is knowing who you want your podcast to be targeted towards. Yes. So your primary target audience and secondary target audience. So who are you trying to speak to? Like for us, for example, we are mainly targeting, say, 16 to 30-year-olds. Yeah. In our age bracket, because those are the types of people that may get our humor more. Yeah. Because that's our age-ish. Yeah. So
we speak in a different tongue.
Our mother tongue is different. No, but so we were targeting more towards that age range. Yep. But also people who are looking for new artists, people who love music. Oh yeah. Like rock enthusiasts maybe. But that doesn't mean to say that our content didn't reach people who are not in those brackets of audience.
It got a wide reception.
Yeah, there's a couple of people I saw that was 60 plus that watched.
Yeah.
And obviously...
Proper rockers.
Yeah, obviously rock has a deep history, so you're going to get people who are older. Which is nice though, I like that.
It was great.
I think picking your primary audience and channeling your energy into getting those people, those are going to be your loyal subscribers, audience members, followers, the people who are going to keep coming back for more. That's what you kind of want to build on first.
Definitely.
Yeah. So and then obviously we have gear and things that you're going to want to actually film
equipment
the podcast with. Right now for our podcast, we use a Shure SM7B, which is a condenser microphone. Ooh. I say it's the podcast standard, but I also don't have, I don't know what it's called.
What is it?
Oh, you have to plug it in before you plug it into the audio interface. Oh. A cloud something. Oh, My bad. I'll put it on the screen because I've forgotten the name for it. Yeah, but we use an SSL2 Plus audio interface and a Shure 7 SMB.
Lovely.
Microphone, which I think is great. It takes a bit of time to get the settings right on it. It's not a microphone that you can just plug in and have it work like straight away.
Yeah.
And it costs money. I think this was about £400, and then the audio interface was almost stretching up to 200-ish. But that being said, a microphone is not the be all and end. A good microphone is not the be all and end all.
I mean, when we were doing TikToks and things like that, trying to like reach a kind of audience, we have these the little ones.
Yeah, which I'll put on the screen.
I'm not very technological wise. We had these little mini ones, and they had such a good sound quality that you could just record stuff on the go. It was great. Each
and every single thing that we mentioned that is gear wise, I'll link in the description as well, so you can go and have a look. But I know a lot of people who use Rode microphones as well. They're just good microphones.
Oh wow. Sorry,
that I'll also link in the description. But yeah, as the microphone goes that we use in our TikToks, they're this dual pack where you get a part that you plug into your phone or your camera or even your laptop. I tried it in a laptop and it does work as well.
Wow.
But yeah, it's just these little microphones. You get the little wind protectors on them as well.
Cool.
And you can use a sound, what do you call it? I'm so good at talking today.
Like not like a muffler.
But yeah, you can use
like,
that
you know,
as well.
the things at movie sets, you know, when you see the sound thing coming, it's really furry.
Yeah, that's the wind protector.
Oh. I thought, okay, sorry.
That's the it.
You're better talking.
Stops.
I can't.
It stops when you're in a very loud area or with wind. It stops it from like hitting.
Does it really?
Of it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's not like. It doesn't. It's not an 100% prevention kind of thing. Don't expect to go outside and it be perfect sound still.
Yeah, like
unless
Hurricane
you have
Katrina.
a 1,500 pound mic. But it has. You can get them on AirPods. Noise cancelling. Oh my god.
Ooh,
noise cancelling as well. So you can
about.
switch from that and then to a regular sound as well.
Wicked.
So when you're in a busy area, they're very good. And you can get about over 10 feet, 20 feet distance between the microphones that you use as well.
We tested them, didn't we? Yeah. We went to like opposite ends of the house and then had a conversation.
Yeah, and you can still hear it perfect. It's very, very crisp. Nice. I got the dual pack for maybe about £70, which is kind of on the cheap side of a good microphone.
That's good, yeah.
And you can get even cheaper ones as well. The point being is, if you can get a good one, get a good one. I purchased my microphone not for podcasting, but because I do a music degree.
Yeah.
So I was using it for other things anyway. Which is why I have it. I didn't just buy it for the podcast.
No.
I think the worst thing, if you agree, that someone could do is to decide on a whim that they want to do something and to buy the most expensive equipment straight off of the bat.
Oh yeah, no. Screw that.
You want to kind of get used to doing the thing that you want to do. So get used to posting podcasts. Make sure that you're being consistent in the way that you're posting. Create your artwork and your thumbnails.
Yeah, start on a budget and kind of figure out what you're trying to do with the podcast. And then if it's getting better and better and better, and you're enjoying yourself and you feel like it's something you want to pursue long term, then start investing maybe in those things.
Yeah.
Just like a secure business model so you don't go broke.
Yeah, exactly. Because the worst thing you could do is buy a £400 microphone, do a podcast and figure out that you actually don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And now you've got a £400 microphone sat in your office or bedroom.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
And you're really hungry.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, I guess I can't buy food for the next month now because I've just bought a microphone.
No.
But yeah. It's not the be all and end all. People come because they want to listen to you speak
Yeah.
about this subject. They enjoy the subject. Having very, very bad audio quality can deter someone from sticking around. But having average audio quality, as long as you've got a striking conversation,
Yeah.
as long as you are bringing up good topics and that you're creating a sense of space for people in your
Holding space.
holding space for your audience, then I don't think it matters too much, to be honest. And then you can use different kinds of I use a DAW to record
A DAW.
a DAW
DAW.
to record the audio into. But again, it's because I have a music degree, so I kind of use that. If you have a Mac, getting Logic, the music making program, I'm pretty sure it's free on Mac.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use Ableton, and you can use like things like Audacity, GarageBand,
GarageBand.
Adobe Audition,
Throwback.
Reaper, all those kinds of things. To be honest, anything that you can get your audio recorded onto and maybe slightly edit the audio so it sounds as good as you can get it, that's good enough.
Defo. Noise.
Yeah, and then a good environment to record it in.
Yeah, I mean, I have a history and politics degree, so I have the ability to just yap about my opinions until the end of time, really. That's my skill set.
You always want people, if you're doing a podcast with someone, you want someone that you both rebound off of.
You get on.
Yeah.
You don't want to be enemies.
I mean, currently, Caitlin doesn't know too much about the technical aspect of the podcast.
No.
So I'm kind of yapping a lot, but...
It's alright, though.
Yeah.
'Cause I've yapped a lot, too.
Yeah,
this entire season.
Yeah. But yeah, those are the most essential things that you want to focus on. The environment doesn't matter too much. If you are filming video, however, it does matter.
It does, yeah. We struggle with that a little bit.
Yeah, it's something that we're still working on to get right. Getting the right angle. I would say in a podcast, you see a lot of people on TikTok and Instagram Reels and everything.
They get studios for it because that is where like the kind of like ideal setting. I mean, we're just two students, you know.
But they get loads of camera angles.
They
and
do.
It splits it up a bit.
Yeah.
If you have the option, if you have two phones, not personally, but if you have a phone and your co-host has a phone, use those.
That would be correct.
That's a good idea. I would say that lighting also matters more than the camera. So you can use two phones, and you can pick up some really cheap lights from Amazon.
Yeah, you can. You can. Even like a good TikTok or makeup light.
Yeah.
Could work.
A good makeup light works so well.
They do.
Yeah. So I would
underrated.
definitely recommend getting good lighting before you invest in a good camera.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that only applies if you're doing video.
iPhones are incredible nowadays. Do you know what?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, I've been a Samsung girly since day dot, but now I've switched and I actually don't feel scared recording things anymore. I'm like, do you know what? I'm gonna press play, press record.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The quality is just so pristine.
I would say the only problem though with recording on your phone can be the storage issue.
Oh yeah.
Because a podcast isn't going to be a 5-minute video.
No.
It's going to be 25 plus, getting to the 40-hour mark.
Invest in storage.
So storage like Google Photos, maybe iCloud.
Ooh.
Things like that.
These are our sponsors.
Sponsored by
Sponsored by iCloud.
But yeah, in terms of gear, that's all you really need, I'd say. Yeah, and a laptop to record it on.
Literally.
Or a PC.
Yeah.
Wherever you can.
Anything.
So, Caitlin.
Yes,
This is
Molly.
your specialty now.
Uh-oh.
Yapaholic.
Yapaholic. I have a degree in yaponomics.
Crafting engaging content. Something that someone is going to actually stick around and listen to. Right?
Yes.
So, how do you really feel about scripting versus like a free flow content?
I don't know. I mean, I think it was good to have both, but not such a developed script that you feel like you're just kind of like reading.
Yeah.
because that just ruins the whole kind of authenticity of it. The whole point of a podcast is that it's just people yapping on about things. It's not rehearsed. And like in other podcasts I've listened to, it's like you'll find out, like I've seen like celebrity interviews on podcasts and like stuff like that, and you get into more when you go off topic a little bit, when you get into that little niche that you found on your kind of like discussion. And it's always worked a bit better. But it's good. It's like kind of like radios. They have a script that they stick to, but they can just go a little bit off topic as well.
Yeah.
They're probably more strict, but podcasters, you've got to be a bit more free with it. You've just got to enjoy yourself, be comfortable, and just say what you got to say.
Exactly.
Preach.
I would say you can't go wrong with a few bullet points and a few notes to get you back on topic. If you
they keep a theme. They keep a theme, yeah.
I mean, you can sway off topic every now and then, but you have to make sure that you are bringing it back.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to lose interest a lot more, because if you just, like, I do it a lot, I just get off topic and then I've completely forgotten where I am, what I'm doing. Yeah. The person that I was talking to has walked off. And I'm just here like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think free flow conversation is great in podcasts. People like to think and believe that they're in the room with you and having that discussion as well, and it feels more authentic.
But it's also good to kind of have those bullet points as well, because then you can kind of revert back to what you were initially saying at the beginning.
Exactly.
You go into this kind of like, it's like a story. You have like the opening, the plot, the controversial bit, and then you have the ending, which kind of like brings it all back together. Because otherwise the podcast episodes wouldn't just be 40 minutes, they'd be 24 hours.
Yeah.
They'd be 10 days.
But then what you said brings me on to the next point of using storytelling techniques.
Yeah.
So beginning a story, letting it tail on, and then breaking the
because we don't just go straight into it with our topics. We'd start off, we'd be like, oh, how's your day?
How's your day, yeah.
It's been alright.
Make it casual. Make it casual. If you instantly, I know this was quite an abrupt start, but usually in a podcast you kind of want to break in the shoes.
Yeah, like otherwise you're not going to be comfortable with it. You're not going to kind of be comfortable talking fully about the topic and getting into that kind of whole thing.
And that's how you get into the more engaging topics of conversation.
Yeah.
This is especially true if you want to make a music podcast or a podcast in general.
Yeah.
Where you are interviewing another person.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very, very intellectual decision to get on YouTube and look at good interview techniques versus bad interview techniques. And that's where having a script comes into play as well, because having questions that you want to ask people and being able to get right back on topic is much more efficient when interviewing guests that you've maybe never spoken to really before. They are essentially strangers.
Because you don't know if you're going to click or not.
And you need to make sure that you're, like, you know, loosening them up a bit. If you delve straight into the hard topics of conversation, so
and why did you write that?
So if you're like having a conversation with a very well-known rock artist of the past, of the 70s or 80s, right? And then you're like, oh, hello. It's lovely to meet you. So tell me why you said that really controversial, sexist, racist comment back then.
It's like, hello, nice to meet you. Why did you write that really depressing somber lyric that like tells deep into your soul and crushes you every time you mention it?
Yeah. Like maybe those aren't even conversations that you want to have at all.
No.
But like using a very extremist example, you don't want to delve in too much like that. It's meant to be banter between friends.
It is.
To a point where you can. And the other person feels comfortable doing so.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then making sure that you keep the structure of keeping it informative and then keeping it entertaining as well.
Yeah. So
how would you go about that? Just
keeping it informative and entertaining. Well, I am just a bit of both, really. Not to toot my own horn. No, I'm joking. I think it's about finding that balance. But you're not going to start a podcast and just be like, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know, like, you can plan it out as much as you want, but actually kind of getting into it took us like a couple of episodes for me to kind of properly understand that kind of balance between keeping it informative and also keeping it fun and light-hearted as well.
Yeah, it's the same thing of making a lecture if you're a teacher. Probably not as intense, really, but just keeping it to the point where people are engaged still, but you're giving them information that they came to the podcast for.
Well, it's like everyone that's ever done a speech. The first time you've ever said a speech, it's not going to be your best one.
No, it's trial and error, really.
Yeah, and then you keep on doing it, keep persevering. It goes with everything in life. You just got to keep going at it, and you'll get really good at it.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Aw.
Wonderful.
That's sweet. Weren't that bloody sweet?
What else would you say goes into making a good podcast, Caitlin?
Great social media presence.
Oh, definitely great social media.
Especially in this day and age.
Yeah. Social media is more important than ever to be a part of.
It's everything.
If you are not on social media, especially TikTok,
where are you?
You're not really gonna.
Are you even there?
Not to say that you're not gonna get far, but it's going to be an insanely more difficult pathway to take.
It's such an amazing place that you can properly promote something nowadays. Like now it's kind of, there's so many people out there, and it's quite difficult. It's positive and negative, as we've discussed in the podcast. It's you can only do so much just going on your own, especially on YouTube. There was like a period of time where YouTube was in its prime, and you could just post on YouTube. And now these people are doing amazing, but nowadays you can post on YouTube, but you do also need that kind of other updating way of getting to people, and TikTok has been such an incredible platform for something like that.
I mean, I would say the reason that YouTube worked previously was because it wasn't as saturated as it is now.
No, exactly.
It's so much harder to just post a video and have people see it nowadays. Exactly. It's like going from, I'm not saying these are the actual numbers, but it's like going from 100 people. It's easy to find one person out of 100. It's so much harder to find one person out of 20 million, 50 million.
Trillion,
billion,
whatever. Trillion, quadrillion.
And especially people doing the same things as you.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will be putting in more effort than you.
Yeah.
People will be working harder than you. You might be working harder than them. It doesn't necessarily garner this it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the audience.
No, it doesn't mean the people that are receiving your content are going to understand that or know about that.
Exactly.
So,
but going on social media can definitely help.
Yes.
Make that a higher percentage chance.
That's how we kind of helped kind of like adapt with our podcast when we did that review week, where we went on TikTok and we asked people online, what bands do you want to see?
Yeah.
Because we've done some really niche bands and stuff like that, and then people on that TikTok were just commenting, and they were going, this and this and this, I love this band, this is my brother's band, this is my best friend's dog's cat's favourite band. Like it was like, oh wow, this is incredible. Yeah. And then we took what the people wanted.
Yeah.
In a very kind of democratic way, and then we did something with it, and it also got so many reviews from the bands themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
The bands were they were interacting with us on social media. It was incredible,
and it feels good.
It feels good because they were getting something out of it, and so were we.
Yeah,
it was a lovely little interaction online. Actually,
that is the most important thing as well. Posting on social media regularly on TikTok and Instagram helps you to be able to collaborate with other people. And at the beginning, you are not going to be in a position where you can be like, hey, come into my podcast, I'll pay you this much money.
No, because
do this. Like when you were starting,
you sound like a creepy dude in a van.
Yeah, but when you were starting and you don't have that listener community, you need to build that up, right? So you're at square one. So going about collaborating with other people, you can pay them in, hey, I'll take you out for a meal, I'll buy you lunch if you want to do this.
I'll buy you dinner.
If you come on my podcast, I'll come on yours. Or if you post me here, then I'll post you there.
That's good.
If you don't have money as an incentive, giving time and giving them content is a great way to meet in the middle.
Giving them like an outreach.
Yeah.
If some people were interacting on their social media or whatever they're doing because of what you've been doing to promote them, they will most likely reward you or give you interactions. And that can really garner a very good kind of like business and social media relationship that is incredible.
Exactly. And it's all in good fun as well.
It is.
It's not so much transactional as it sounds. Like,
No,
give
no.
me this and I'll give you that. It's only if...
Do my podcast.
It's only if both sides are good with that.
Yeah, and willing,
Yeah.
and, you know,
And it's just...
in the spirit of fun.
Yeah, and it's a fun networking thing. You can sometimes make friends with those
Literally.
people. And yeah, it just helps improve both sides of the coin. Both
It's a
content.
win-win situation.
Yeah, it's a win-win situation. So yeah, definitely social media, it can help you get monetized eventually. It's not, I wouldn't say social media is quite secure, like 100% secure, because you never really know, like
Could go
TikTok
great.
going away in America or whatever,
Bom, bom, bom.
quite a while ago. But you can use the clips for engagement,
Yeah.
clip parts of your podcast.
Give people
Put it on.
snippets.
Yeah,
It's the best thing.
snippets are great. Using sounds, very popular sounds. Try and use sounds on TikTok that are on the rise. So between 1,000, definitely less than 10,000. You're gonna have a better chance of getting at the top of the
That page,
edits made using that sound.
yeah.
So people will be more likely to see it. Don't use too many hashtags. Too many hashtags is not good.
No, it gets a bit intense, but...
Pick quality hashtags. Pick some hashtags that are quite saturated and other hashtags that are low, like 100 to 1,000 uses. Because, I mean, 100 people viewing your content is better than no one seeing it. Because
Exactly.
you put 5 million used hashtags.
Yeah, there's
into
this
it.
one, yeah.
So
also,
yeah.
creator search insights are going to help you.
Oh, 100%.
They're going to
They
help
give
you.
so
They're
many
there
ideas.
to help you, so use them, utilize them
Yeah, why not?
to your heart's content, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use everything that you can. It's out there for a reason.
And find what people, if you can find trends within your own account. So you posted several videos and you're finding, oh, people respond to this more than they do to this. We noticed people were responding more to our interactive ones,
Yeah.
where it was like, oh, I bet you can't name these 5 bands, or it was just like quite simple. It was really simple to film and do,
Yeah.
but it got really good reviews because people love a good little interaction. We
Yeah.
found that was a good niche. There was like a whole thing about me just being hungover, which people found quite funny.
It's relatable.
It is relatable, you know, just goofy like that.
Oh, that really went through me.
No.
I'm just goofy like
I'm
that.
just goofy like that.
Great.
I'm gonna kill
Yeah.
myself. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, you just find like just funny things or like interesting. If you can predict trends and you can see more viewership.
Viewership, yeah.
Viewership? Is that the word?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's just use it anyway.
Okay, cool. Yeah, viewership.
Audience retention.
Oh, someone's educated.
Mm.
Hello. Yeah, so if you can get more views, basically, if you can see that trend, it's just great to use it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all trial and error. So
Yeah.
even if you post something that you're really proud of, it doesn't get that much views.
Don't be
You put-
disheartened.
yeah, and you post something else and it does get loads of views, but you didn't put as much effort into it.
Yeah.
Pick the one that had the most views.
Just keep going with it.
Just keep using that kind of content and keep going with it.
And see what happens. You never
Yeah,
know. You
just
never know.
Use what people like. I mean, when we first started this podcast, I had a whole social media plan where the different type of video I was going to post on each day, and I realized that doesn't work because one of them might not retain that many views as another one. It doesn't really matter. Just pick the ones that are doing well and run with them, as long as you enjoy it as well. If you don't find any enjoyment from the stuff that you're posting, then switch it up, because you
Yeah.
still need to find enjoyment out of it, otherwise
No,
you're going to
yeah.
get burnt out so quickly and you're not going to want to continue.
Definitely.
But yeah, definitely just keep picking the ones that people seem to be enjoying.
Have a plan to begin with, but you've got to make sure that your plan is adaptable, because everything you need to, like, things will change so quickly, trends will come and go. Yeah. You can never predict that, so you've got to prepare for the whatever happens.
Exactly. And then one final point to make, especially about music podcasts, is you want to do a good bit of research before you do your episodes.
Yeah.
Music is a topic of conversation that changes so much. What is in the charts last week might not be doing so well next week or whatever. Going on Spotify, going on Apple Music, Deezer, all these different things, going on them, looking into what's doing well, what's not doing well. If you're looking at upcoming artists like us, going into maybe New Music Friday is a good playlist to be looking into. Looking at artists that are less than a certain amount of monthly listeners, because
we focused on that. If they had like under 10,000, was the kind of aim. I mean, sometimes they go above and below, but it was that was our plan.
That's
the target.
That was what we researched as a topic of conversation that wasn't being talked about too much. So that's what we used. So Spotify, all those different types of places. Make sure you're on top of it. Maybe subscribe to certain music blogs, and look at all these different types of things.
Definitely.
And you should. Pitchfork is also a good place to look at.
What's Pitchfork?
It's like a music website. You can find different kinds of artists on there, which is good. Any kind of thing that's music related, just be on top of it. Or any kind of topic that you want to talk about on your podcast, be on top of it. Be subscribed to blogs and newsletters. Be on Spotify, be on Instagram and TikTok, be on the social media pages that are talking about your topic. Look into what people are saying about your topic. Look onto TikTok and type in what you want to be doing and see what other creators are doing. Also, I'd recommend going on Reddit, because a lot of people have very interesting ideas on Reddit.
They do.
Something that I tried doing as well is going on ChatGPT, going on Reddit, like typing in the topic of conversation I was really interested in, putting the link into ChatGPT and saying, can you find me the most requested questions from this article? And it gave me all of them without me having to scroll through hundreds of thousands of things.
It's a clever little tool. If you know how to use it.
ChatGPT as well is not bad to use.
It's not evil.
Just don't overuse it to the point where there's no creativity.
Don't use it. It would ChatGPT at the moment, at least in terms of technology, it's only really kind of useful for good templates. You can't fake real creativity, and you can't fake your own ideas.
Exactly.
You have to go with that as your primary kind of like source of the drive that gets you going and keeps you through the podcast. But ChatGPT is really good to help you organize it a little bit.
Just use it as a bit of a walking stick if you get really stuck. But all your ideas should come from you. Because you are the idea. So overall, put
that on a Facebook page.
Overall, make sure you're picking a good niche in your podcast. Make sure you're getting the correct gear, but it doesn't need to be amazing, good quality. It just needs to work and be sufficient enough to get you to a point where you can maybe afford to get better gear in the future. Keep your content engaging, free-flowing, a little bit of scripting here and there just to help you along. And make sure you're promoting constantly on social media. If you don't take anything else away from it, genuinely just take away the fact that you need to be on social media all the time. And
within reason.
But
still,
don't wait for perfection, just start now.
Aw.
You know what I mean?
You are like a Facebook montage. You know the ones with all the flowers, all those lovely inspirational quotes?
Yeah, genuinely.
You are the idea. Like, who comes up with that? Brilliant.
So yeah, subscribe if you want.
If you want.
Comment down below what your podcast idea. Oh my god, can I speak?
Podcast.
Comment down below what your podcast ideas are, and we'll give you a follow if you ended up making them. And you know,
Hell yeah, we could be your first follower.
yeah, teamwork.
Aw, that's
you know?
so cute.
Yeah, and follow us all on social media. We have a TikTok and Instagram and everything that's linked in the description below.
Give us a like.
Yeah. And next time, hopefully, we'll be talking about some interesting things
Wait, we just?
on the Amped Up podcast,
The
episode
official Amped Up.
2 of season 2.
Dun dun dun.
Wallop.